afraid of politics, bro. So you understand. I do not like
You don't like
no part of politics.
no gang bang
going on in the current political climate. I'm just saying to I don't want to turn anybody off, but I hate politics.
Right versus wrong is a side. Good versus evil is a side. As a matter of fact, the very churches that we grew up with. And the
Black Ambition, which is our 501c3 that supports Black and brown ideas.
When these musicians claim they don't care about politics, don't trust them. To your face, they are lying. 9 times out of 10, these artists wait to voice their opinions until it is advantageous to them. How many times has 50 Cent stated in interviews with the media that he stays out of politics? With you guys, I'm not even kidding. In at least 10 different interviews, 50 Cent has stated that he stays out of politics and religion.
Afraid of politics, bro. So you understand. I do not like
You don't like
no
gang
part of politics.
no gang bang or politics.
No gangbang, no politics. You know, it's because when you do get involved in it, no matter how you feel, someone passionately disagrees with you.
If I say that. Your publicist, when you talk to your publicist, you know the first thing they tell you, what? Stay away from religion, stay away from politics.
Why?
No matter what you say, somebody passionately disagrees with you. No matter what religion, you believe in Allah, and you're saying that's not the right way. Christianity, that's not it, because they're choosing something different. Your political party, Democrat, Republican, a disagreement completely. So I stay away from it. When I get pulled into politics, I go, yeah. And I have nothing to say. If it's not music, then it's film and television, but it's still entertainment. So why would you turn someone off by saying that?
Now, a lot of people believed him until lately. That is, until it began to have a falling out with Mandani, the mayor of New York City. People began criticizing 50 Cent at that point and realized, yo, wait a minute. You're only criticizing him because it could have an impact on your finances and taxes. You don't give a damn about the average person while being extremely wealthy. Unfortunately, during the past few years, this has been a recurring theme with celebrities. Fans will go above and beyond to support them by attending their performances, purchasing their records and music, and supporting their entire way of life. However, many of these superstars do not demonstrate the same affection when it comes to helping their supporters and repaying that favor. Pharrell Williams, also known as Mr. Skateboard P, got into some trouble yesterday. In addition to discussing how much he despises politics, Pharrell shared his opinions on DEI.
Going on in the current political climate. I'm just saying to I don't want to turn anybody off, but I hate politics. Like despise them. It's a magic trick that it's not real. I don't believe in either side, because I think when you pick a side, you are only you are inadvertently supporting division. Yeah, it's not a popular point of view, but I just got to say that. Think about it. The wells are drying up, and okay, now the diversity's off the table, now equity's off the table, now inclusion's off the table. So that makes me ask myself, okay, so how do we survive? Well, are there black people in that tonight? And in your part, do you think for what it is that you do and who you are, do you think you're the best? Okay, so do you want the job because you're black or because you're the best? Do you want someone to support your startup because you're black or because you're the best? Right, so I think now for me it's about us having the best ambition. That's the reason why you should support these businesses. Yes, they happen to be black and brown, but it should be based on the thesis that we're the best, not because we are a total shade of a skin color. That's a point of view that I have now that I'm resting on, and if diversity, equity, and inclusion ever comes back in style, cool. But in the meantime, I'm going to focus on being the best because I can bank on that, because that's what's going to get you the position. Where, I don't want you to give me anything. I want you to panic and not let me out the room.
Now, many individuals were taken aback by Pharrell's statement. Pharrell, how could you, many said. You were rather vocal about BLM, Trump, and almost all political issues before landing your posh position at Louis Vuitton. What has changed since then? D.L. Hughley was one of many individuals who voiced their opposition to Pharrell. This is what he stated.
right versus wrong is a side. Good versus evil is a side. As a matter of fact, the very churches that we grew up with and the Bibles that we read, God required that we take a side. As a matter of fact, he said, if you're lukewarm, I will spit you out. In other words, he required that you take a side, that you stand for something or fall for nothing. Is you is or is you ain't is a side. Black people and brown people and women who've ascended needed somebody who took a side for their ascension. It was absolutely paramount to our forward movement that somebody take a side. I think Pharrell is a dope dude, but he is in his position right now because of his resume. Virgil Abloh was a guy who learned how to sew from his mother, who studied architecture, who worked with Fendi. He was so dope that he became the creative director. The first time in a company that had almost been 200 years old, the first time they ever had a black creative director was Virgil Abloh. And if you look at what fashion looked like before him and after him, he changed everything. He changed everything. He was so dope that his resume insisted that they take him, and he changed their fortune. Look at all the fashion houses before him. Everything was a derivative of what he did. And when he passed on, they didn't want somebody different. A company that only had one black person in 200 years took another one. And it wasn't Pharrell's resume that made him the obvious choice. It was his connection to the very culture that Virgil Abloh had introduced, the very culture he connected him to. If you look at what Virgil Abloh did, he was so dope that they said, not only are we going to have him, for the second time in our history, we're going to get a black dude. Now, it wasn't his resume that made him choose him. His resume wasn't so pristine that a fashion house of LVH's stature chose him. It was because Virgil Abloh had been so dope, we need somebody that keeps us connected to them. We need somebody that connects us to what this dope ass dude did. And I'm not saying Pharrell ain't dope, but it wasn't his resume that got him there. It was his skin color. You could have took his very resume and he would have been, if you took Pharrell without his skin color and his dope hat and his little glasses, he is not the director of LVMH. It was his skin color as much as anything else. And to me, it's a shame that so many people who now get to not take a side benefited from so many people that had to.
I won't lie to you folks and try to undermine Pharrell's fashion sense, but you already know why you were selected for that role following Virgil's death, brother. It looks like you've suddenly forgotten where you came from now that you sitting high and mighty in the Louis Vuitton office rubbing elbows with the proprietors. Now, the fact that Pharrell finances a nonprofit DEI program is another reason why many were angry with the company. I'm not even kidding, folks. Pharrell started a nonprofit organization called Black Ambition to support Latina and Black business owners.
Black Ambition, which is our 501c3 that supports Black and brown ideas around the world, started in America, but around the world, to give folks who have ideas and concepts and sometimes startup businesses, not only the strategic scaffolding of mentorship and access to really good mentors, but also to get them in the right rooms and conversations with the right investors. And then at the same time, resources as well. And it's just been a very important focus because I am a Black man. I come from a marginalized community, and, things are not promised to people who look like us. And so those opportunities we need, we're not looking for handouts. We're just looking for the right way to go and the right direction and the right people to stand next to. And that's what Black Ambition, that's what the goal is.
Therefore, you have to be aware of how it appears when people see you sitting up on stage and making remarks that appear to be anti-DEI, brother. DEI is not about applying for jobs based on the color of your skin. It all comes down to being inclusive and leveling the playing field. You have the potential to excel at your work. You all understand what I mean if you work in a corporate environment. Being the greatest at your profession is sometimes insufficient, and you will still be disregarded. Personally, I'm not going to lose my mind over Pharrell. I won't refer to him as a sellout. He simply appears to be incredibly disconnected. Please leave a remark below. What are your thoughts on Pharrell's remarks? Do you guys believe he deserves all of this criticism? Similar to this video, become a subscriber to my channel, man. I'll see you guys later.